Welcome to Cool Outdoors. Today I am going to give you 10 tips for analyzing a grass bed to find more bass because you can catch more fish. Okay, the first tip I'm going to give you, then we start from 10 and work my way back down to 1. Tip number 10. You can't approach fishing grass with a single rod. You need multiple rods. You need to be able to have a rod ready for flipping, one ready for pitching. Being able to do both, and you can pick it apart a lot better, a lot quicker. Plus, you can switch baits a lot faster if you have more than one rod. Tip number 9. You need to know how the bass move in the grass. It makes it so much easier to find them. Bass use different parts of the beds at different times during the day. So if you understand that this, you can find them faster. So as a general rule, look at along the edges during the middle of the day, or during the mornings and during the evenings. During the middle of the day, look deeper into the patch. Look into the thick stuff. That is where you're going to find them underneath that shade, taking advantage of the ambush opportunities they have deeper in the grass. Tip number 8. You need to know how to select your spot. Because you can find bass anywhere inside of a patch. So you need to create a plan of how you're going to approach a grass bed and stick to that plan. And to figure out how to make this, think of it as any other type of structure. Think of it as a creek or maybe timber. Just think of it as a structure along those lines. You can quickly find your fish within there. And then you can create a pattern and you can quickly go through a patch and catch all the fish. Tip number 7. Think green. The greener the grass, the better. This is because the green grass more than likely has the most oxygen possible. So if you're looking for a highly oxygenated place, look for the green grass, and that is where you're going to find the bass. If you find brownish grass and it stinks, get away from it. It's dying, been poisoned, something, and the fish are leaving that area. If the fish are leaving that area, you won't catch any. So if you find brown grass that smells, run away like the bass did. Tip number 6. When you finally catch a bass, learn how to fight it right. Do not horse them. If you pull too hard, the hooks will come out of that mouth and you will fail in catching that bass. So, and another thing, if you can't get it through the grass you got it in, take your boat over there and lift it straight out. That is the way you catch your fish. Tip number 5. Look at the bottom features. Look for contour changes. Look for ditches and changes of depth in that grass. And look for humps. There are some great humps in grass. And most people don't even see them because they don't understand how to find them. Tip number 4. Okay, now we found this grass patch and it's the middle of the day. How do we penetrate it? How do we get underneath that grass? Well, here are some tips. Pitch your bait higher and make it come down with more force. That will get it through. Look for thin places and fish through the thin stuff. Sometimes if you pitch and you get stuck on top, just slowly move her across and it will sink down in. And then tip number, in the last part of this one here, once it hits the bottom, wiggle it a little bit, then pull, move. So that is how you get through the grass. Tip number 3. Gear up for battle because you're at war. That bass is going to kick your ass if you're not careful. So gear up with heavy line, heavy flipping sticks, heavy duty everything, heavy duty reel. Don't bring a light rod to a fight where you're going to have to fight that bass out heavy cover. Tip number 2. Visualize. Imagine what the grass bed looks like. Remember that grass creates shady places. Use it with the electronics. Go along there and study the depth changes. That makes it a lot easier to find it. and get to know your grass bed. Get to know where all your little rocks in. If you're going to be fishing this bed quite a bit, know where you're going, know how you're going to fish it, and then you will catch more bass. And now tip number 1, cover more water. Cover as much water as you can until you pinpoint a pattern, and once you figure out that pattern, stick to that pattern. Unless the conditions change. If conditions change, start covering water again and find those bass. Pinpointing bass is hard work, just like fishing grass. And once you do find them, bass tend to stack up in one place, and if they're stacked up, you are going to have a good day, because you're going to catch a lot of fish. This has been Derek Cole with Cole Outdoors. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share my video with a friend. Let's grow together. Let's become better. Until next time, I'm your host, Derek Cole. Later.